let me show you this part of Biden's inauguration, because, I mean, this is really all you need to see.
Storm and strife, in peace and in war, we've come so far, but we still have far to go. We'll press forward with speed and urgency, for we have much to do in this winter of peril and significant possibilities. Much to repair, much to restore, much to heal, much to build, and much to gain. Few people in our nation's history have been more challenged or found a time more challenging or difficult than the time we're in now. Once-in-a-century virus that silently stalks the country. It's taken as many lives in 1 year as America lost in all of World War II. Millions of jobs have been lost. Hundreds of thousands of businesses closed. A cry for racial justice, some 400 years in the making, moves us. The dream of justice for all will be deferred no longer. A cry for survival comes from the planet itself, a cry that can't be any more desperate or any more clear. And now, a rise of political extremism, white supremacy, domestic terrorism that we must confront and we will defeat. To overcome these challenges, to restore the soul and secure the future of America, requires so much more than words. It requires the most elusive of all things in a democracy: unity. Unity. In another January, on New Year's Day in 1863, Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. When he put pen to paper, the president said, and I quote, "If my name ever goes down into history."
So, I mean, for those of you that watched it, this was a wonderful speech. This was a wonderful speech, frankly, if you are a suburban, comfortable American. I'm not condemning comfortable suburban Americans, but this was a speech for the wine moms. This was a speech for those who are comfortable enough to think a lack of unity is the biggest problem in the United Corporations of America, because we do live in the United Corporations of America. This was a speech basically hitting the themes of emptiness that Biden ran on. Because Biden didn't run on doing anything per se in terms of policy. Biden didn't run on doing anything per se in terms of healthcare, doing anything in terms of, the military-industrial complex, doing anything in terms of the corruption and toxicity of money in our politics. He ran on bringing us back to unity. He ran on kind of a brushed up version of what Obama ran on. Let's enter a post-partisan America. Heal the wounds of yesteryear. And this is all very wonderful language if you are a comfortable person economically, if you are a person with decent health care, if you are in a position where Donald Trump affected you mostly emotionally, not economically or socially, just triggers you emotionally because of the vile things he said, the vile things he proposed. But the truth is, the person standing up there today is one of the leading people responsible for most of the things he's saying we have to repair. I'm not trying to just, be petty and attack Biden on the day he's inaugurated. The jury, I think we know how this is going to play out because he's already shown us by who he's chosen in his cabinet, who he chose as vice president, how this is going to play out. But the devil's advocate could say, Jordan, criticize him, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He just canceled the Keystone XL pipeline, which is a good thing. He just got us back into the Paris Climate Accord. It's a good thing. I mean, the Paris Climate Accord was essentially a band-aid to the climate's gunshot wound. I mean, most serious climate experts say the Paris Climate Accord is completely insufficient. But better that we're in it than not in it. I assume he would get us back in the Iran nuclear deal. I didn't see if he has yet. Maybe he did. So it seems like he's essentially, that's why I titled it Back to the Neoliberal Future. He's just, first step is to erase everything Trump did, or as much as he can, and restore the Obama order. But the problem with this hoity talk about unity is it's a facade. People who run campaigns on bringing people together, it sounds good, but it's always been a facade. George W. Bush ran on it in 2000. Obama ran on it, and adding in, a post-partisan utopia America, which kind of hard to create when at the time you're raking in money from Wall Street. Obama was. Nobody knew that at the time because the media didn't report it. Hillary Clinton ran on a lot of these themes. Stronger together, we need to unite. But the truth is, part of why the country is so tense, I like what Crystal Ball phrased it. The country is a tinderbox. The country is it's any moment exploding. Part of why it's so polarized between Republicans and liberals, between progressives and neoliberals, between, frankly, white supremacists and the rest of us, is because the economic order of this country has been a gilded age, a corrupt gilded age, really for the last 40, 50 years. 50 years ago was the last time we had even any sense of egalitarian economics, where a CEO might have made 15 times more as their worker, not 300 times more. A time when labor unions were a fierce force for good and made demands and could make demands because they had the numbers. A time when we had tighter regulations on how much corporations and individuals could flood in to their politicians. Biden can talk till he's blue in the face and restoring the soul of America, uniting. But the truth is, the soul of America, folks, CNN won't tell you this. MSNBC won't tell you this. The Associated Press won't tell you this. This is the soul of America, right here. Besides genocide of Native Americans, kidnapping, rape, murder of Native Americans, besides slavery, using black people as free labor in the origins of this country, and then after they were, quote, freed, criminalizing them. This is the soul of America. This is the ugly chart they will rarely show you on MSNBC, CNN, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Associated Press, Daily Beast, BuzzFeed, Reuters. We could go down the list. This is a huge reason why there's so much hate, why there's so much economic despair, why there is such a strong amount of people that were susceptible to Trump's lies, why so many people flooded the Capitol. Yeah, there's racism that's part of it. Yeah, there's paranoia. But there's also, at the root of all of this, is economic despair. And by the way, that's a major reason why Hitler rose in Germany. Germany economically was destroyed in World War I. Industry was essentially taken out. People were economically desperate, and in came Adolf Hitler. And that's how nationalism reaches such a boiling point. And people's economic anger, economic desperation, economic fear makes him susceptible to finding anyone they could blame, whether it's Jews, in Trump's case, Muslims and Mexicans and undocumented. But the truth is, Joe Biden is part of the corrupt system. That is why our money has been stolen. That red line is your money for the last 40 years. And that stops at 2015. I haven't seen an updated chart, how far that red line is going up these days. It's only exploded further during COVID. Even though I voted for him, I knew this is basically going back to where we left off with Obama. And I think that he said a whole lot of lovely things. I mean, CNN slobbering over him all day. It's pathetic. I don't know if you saw this clip. This was amazing. Watch this CNN reporter or whoever he is. I mean, just watch this.
Have made really clear it's not like he's trying to ignore or paper over either what happened at the Capitol 2 weeks ago or what we've been through throughout 4 years of the Trump presidency. And the contrast on display tonight was so stark. I mean, those lights that are just shooting out from the Lincoln Memorial along the reflecting pool, it's like almost extensions of Joe Biden's arms embracing America. It was a moment where the new president came to town and sort of convened the country in this moment of remembrance, outstretching his arms.
Listen, do I think it's a good thing that finally we have a president that is taking the pandemic seriously? Do I think it's a good thing that he memorialized the 400,000 dead? Yeah, I do. And credit to Biden for doing that. But let's remember something very clearly. If Joe Biden wanted to wrap his hands over America, he'd be giving all Americans guaranteed health care during a deadly pandemic. That's how you wrap your hands around America, not through bullshit optics. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.